All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, well, we're taking a look at another bike radar system. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload, so you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're taking a look at another bike radar system. And this is from the guys over at Coospo. And before we get into bike radars, I've seen some of your comments. I've reviewed a few of them now, and some of you guys are just like, bike radars, you don't need them. They're extra, you don't need them at all. And I'll agree with you guys to a point. Before I tried a bike radar out for myself, I kind of thought the same thing. I kind of thought, why do I need a bike radar? I can look behind me, I can hear behind me. What's the difference that a bike radar is going to do? And ever since trying my first one, it's something I don't ride without while I'm on the road. And we'll get into that in just a second here. So what does a bike radar do? So essentially a bike radar goes on the back of your bike. Generally, it's going to be a bike radar and a bike light put together for the rear of your bike. What the bike radar does is it sends out signals, pretty much detects vehicles coming up behind you. That's going to be the big thing to it. And then it sends that information up to your cycling computer. And on my case, it displays on the left-hand side, just kind of little arrows kind of going up the screen, showing how close the vehicle is to you, how many vehicles there are, things along that kind of line. And it's really something it's not a necessity, I'll say that. However, knowing that there's vehicles coming up behind you and how many vehicles are coming up behind you is where I find this very helpful. I notice that when I'm riding, you can hear the vehicles coming up behind you. However, you never know how many unless you look behind you. And even then, you can't spend a ton of time looking over your shoulder, right? Because you're trying to stay focused and not hit, the nails and glass in the road, right? So having this guy, having a radar, be able to tell you how many vehicles are behind you is where where the key kind of comes into that. Or if they have a trailer, anything kind of along those lines. So the Coospo taillight radar here. Pretty simple radar. As you can tell, it's kind of a simple light there. It does have a tether you can put it on here to tether it to your bike. I like the mounting bracket on here. It's actually similar to the Garmin Varia style mount, except it's just 90 degrees off. So it's 90 degrees difference, which means if you have an adjustable mount like I do here, and you can rotate that mount 90 degrees, this guy works with any of your Garmin Varia mounts. Really kind of cool. Really nice that they made that work the way they did. Connects computer, no issues at all. I've had no problems with this thing since using it. USB-C rechargeable. This thing lasts up to 50 hours on the bike. We'll get into more specifics on that once we turn the lights off and you guys see how bright this thing is. Now this guy, as a vehicle approaches you, whether you have it set on just a solid light or what you have it set on, it will start flashing when a vehicle approaches you. That way it draws attention to you. That way the vehicle sees you for sure. You're not just a solid light, you are a flashing light right there. And then as you go to stop, it has an accelerometer in here that knows when you're stopping. So it'll actually turn brighter and go solid. Like you'd expect brake lights on a vehicle to do, it will do exactly that just on your brake light here. This thing detects vehicles up to 140 meters behind you. I will say it does a pretty good job. One of the things that Coospo asked me was to send them feedback on this. For me personally, I kind of ride in a different area than a lot of you guys do. A lot of you ride kind of more in the city or the suburbs. I ride in a much more rural area, a little more country. And a lot of times there's like one, maybe two cars that I see on a road at a time. There's really not that many in certain places I ride. And I kind of notice things a little bit differently than people would notice that ride in the city. And with that, yeah, I noticed sometimes it will pick up the vehicle about halfway, about half of that. So about 70 meters away from you instead of 140. It gets a little bit later. However, sending them that feedback, they say they will work that into upcoming firmwares, which is always a great thing. I love when companies are continuing to update their product and take user feedback to heart and actually making changes for that. So that's something to note. Yeah, this thing is continually getting updated, making it better and better and more accurate at detecting vehicles coming up behind you. So this guy, quick, easy quarter turn lock onto the back of your bike. Goes just like that. In my case, we're using a KOM cycling mount here. However, they do come with a mount inside of here, which is probably one of the simplest mounts. It just kind of mounts wherever you want to put it. So like I said, you get the lanyard there you can put on. You have a USB-C charging cable. And then down here is the mount that this guy comes with. Pretty simple band strap. Just kind of goes just like that. It has two different bases for it. It has kind of a flat base and then the more of a kind of a curved shape to kind of fit all sorts of different frames, aero frames, seat posts, whatever, or just a flat spot. We're easily interchangeable. And then this guy just goes right on and you just strap it right in just like that. Pretty simple to use, works really well. I just happen to have this nicer mount up here from my other lights and radars I use. That it just works great on there, no issues. Otherwise, the one it comes with, it's great. These little strap ones work awesome. In the case of this one, comes with 2 different rubber adapters. It works with whatever frame you got, whatever style, wherever you want to mount it, it will work for your bike. Now, this guy, pretty simple modes here. I will say I have to get it off to turn it on. So this guy, pretty simple mode. So you turn this thing on, push and hold. There's kind of a standard blinking mode right there. There's a little bit different of blinking mode. This is just your only radar modes and no light behind you. If you have another light you want to use, or if you don't want to use the light at all, this guy works great. Just solely radar right there. And you can see right there, it thinks I'm stopping, so it just turned bright red. So it still works that way, even when it's just on solely radar mode. So if we go ahead and kick this guy on, there's our low, there's our high. There's a nice kind of little flashing mode right there. So it has multiple different flashing modes, just depending what you want to run. I kind of like this one right here. This is what I normally run. Just gets enough attention. Pretty simple. Yeah, that's kind of what I like. So this is what I personally run on my bike. And there you go. When it thinks you're stopping, it goes ahead and it turns bright red. Really kind of cool how it works. And you put it on the bike. It is very noticeable on the bike. As you guys can tell, it's very noticeable. It's distracting from me on the camera. Very nice. So there are a couple notes I want to make about radars that I've kind of learned over the years. So, and they're all listed in here too, which makes it really easy because I would have forgotten them if I hadn't seen this. So, radars, they will not detect a vehicle as traveling the same speed as you. That means if you get one of those really nice kind of people driving around and they slow down and pace match you behind you, it's not going to pick them up. It's going to act like they're not there. So, that is one thing to note on this guy. If they're going the same speed as you, or you're going through a school zone, you're going 15, they're going 15, it's not going to pick them up at all. Something to be aware of there. Second thing with this guy, so it has 140 meters back. It also has a 40 degrees. So right off of here, if you go draw 40 degrees going out, pretty much the farther away from you a vehicle is, the more likely it is to catch kind of in that wide beam coming off of here. 40 degrees coming off the back. So it means if it's kind of off to the side of you, it's not going to pick them up. It's got to be kind of in that 40 degrees straight back from the bike. And then with that, this thing will pick up to 8 vehicles at a time. I've never seen 8 vehicles at a time. I've seen 4 pop up before. Never seen 8 because there's not normally 8 vehicles behind me all the time where I ride. But just some notes about the radar and how that all kind of functions. If you expect a radar to work 100% of the time and expect to fully rely on this, you're in for a treat. I would count this guy as probably in the 90% being accurate. However, like I said at the beginning, this is kind of a supplement to your already senses, your eyes and your ears, and hearing what's going on behind you. With that being the case, you can kind of count this guy as being fully accurate as long as you're using your senses, right? But I would say 90% of the time, this guy gets it right off the bat, tells you what's going on behind you, makes it really nice. It is very light, charges fully in 3 hours, relatively quickly for a bike light and radar here. And yeah, it's a great option for a lot of you guys that want to get a bike radar for kind of an affordable price. So I think that's the one thing we do need to finish this off with. We need to look at the price on this, because I honestly don't know the price on this guy. On the Coospo TR70, I have no clue what the price point is. So TR70, we're looking at regular price $99.99, so $100 for the TR70. That's kind of on point with the rest of the radars I've tested out personally. It's a great choice for you as well. Honestly, it looks like this is on Amazon I'm looking at. If you get it on Prime, it's even better price. But that's a pretty good deal for a bike radar that I feel like does a lot of things simply, hooked up to pretty much any computer you have. I hooked up to a Garmin and a Magine. No problem with either one of those. And yeah, honestly, if we're looking for kind of a full ecosystem of bike lights and computers, Coospo does offer those as well. So you can have a whole setup for them, all off Amazon for a relatively good price. So if you guys are interested in checking out the Coospo TR70 for yourselves, there's going to be a link in the description down below. Appreciate Coospo for sending me out the TR70 so I can check it out. Test out different products out there that I'm sure we've all seen and wondered, does that thing actually work? Well, I can tell you the TR70 definitely works and well worth your money. If you guys enjoyed the video, or maybe you learned something new today, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.